Good morning, sixth grade. I hope that you're doing well. I've been getting a lot of questions about the Watsons Go to Birmingham outline, and next week we'll be working on the essay. And we've talked about it a couple days during office hours, but I know that not everyone's been able to come. So I wanted to try to answer some of the questions and go over in a little bit more detail what I'm looking for. So first of all, if you look under Plus Portals in the File section, you'll see this paper from earlier this week, which lists several of the themes from the Watsons Go to Birmingham. The first theme here we have friendship, family, racism, bullying, ignorance, and violence. And there are other themes that you could use as well. These are the ones that I'm going to go over and talk about and give you a few more examples of. But if you have another one and you want to send me an email and ask about that, you can do that because there are some other themes and you could do this. So the first one is friendship. And we can see friendship through many different examples from the book. We can see it in the way Kenny and Rufus are friends. We can see friendship exemplified in the way Kenny and LJ are friends. We can also see it in Byron and Buphead's relationships. I'm going to talk about family next, and I'm going to go through and show you an example of an outline that is filled in a little bit more with family. So some examples of the theme of family, and again, I want to remind you that a theme is a central message from a story or a book where there's no one page you can open up and find the theme, but you take everything that you know about the characters and the plot, everything that you know, and you put it together and you get a central idea, sometimes a central message, and that gives us the theme. So if we look at the theme of family, we have lots of different examples. Three of those examples would be the way that Joetta values Byron, the way Mrs. Watson won't give up on Byron, and the fact that love is very present. One of the ways we can see that love is very present in the novel, in the novel, is that Mrs. Watson has a hard time giving Byron punishment. All right, and as I mentioned, there's lots of other themes that you can do, and one of your assignments for it was either last week or earlier in this week was to complete this sheet and go over the ideas for each of them. So I'm going to take now and show you the outline. So hopefully you'll be able to see that. The outline for our 5-paragraph essay. So when you're doing this, the first thing you have to do is decide on a theme. And I am going to use the theme of family. So I'm going to just write that right up here. You don't have to do that. I am just writing it so that you can see what the theme that I am doing is. I'm going to make that a little bigger so we can all see what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to do the theme of family. And I'm going to start down here at letter E, because your thesis statement is really the most important part of this essay. And we've talked about thesis statements several times before in class, but a thesis statement is one sentence that expresses the main idea of your essay. I'm going to say that again. Your thesis statement is one sentence that expresses the main idea of an essay. And we want it to be specific. We want it to be all-encompassing. So I'm going to say, one of the themes that is present, that is shown in the book, The Watsons Go to Birmingham, going to make sure that I capitalize the words of the title. One of the themes that is shown in the book The Watsons Go to Birmingham in 1963 by Christopher Paul Jones is family. And that theme is shown through the ways that Joey interacts with her brothers. It is shown through the ways that the family uses humor, and it is shown through the ways that the parents care about Byron. All right, so now that I've created my thesis statement, I'm going to just highlight that in yellow so that you can see it. Because again, your thesis statement is really so important. We really can't have an essay without a thesis statement. This is, it's not the most perfect thesis statement that I've ever written, but it's a good place for us to start with. I'm going to underline the title of the book because book titles are always underlined. So one of the themes that is shown in the book, The Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963, by Christopher Paul Curtis, is family. And that theme is shown through the ways that Joey interacts with her brothers. It is shown through the ways that the family uses humor. I'm going to fix that to say uses humor. And it is shown through the ways that the parents care about Byron. So now I'm going to take that first part of my theme, which was the way that Joey interacts with her brothers, and I'm going to go up to B, and I'm going to write that. Joey interacts with her brothers. And for the most part, an outline does not have to be complete sentences. I wanted to get my thesis statement as a complete sentence because I wanted to just nail that down and get that as complete as it could be. I still will probably revise this and make it sound a little better as I'm writing my essay, but I wanted it to be specific and I wanted it to be complete. So my first one was Joey interacts with her brothers. I put that for letter B. The second one goes at letter C, and that one says, through the ways the family uses humor. So I'm going to write family uses humor. And then my third reason was how the parents care, or I'm going to say how the parents show that they care about Byron. Okay, so now I have completed everything in my introduction except the Big Bang introduction. Excuse me. The Big Bang introduction is that first sentence, or maybe second sentence, that is going to draw the readers in. When we talked about Iqbal, we talked about using automatopoeia, which are words which sound like what they name. We could also ask a rhetorical question. We could start with a startling fact. I think when writing a thematic essay, a rhetorical question is not a bad place to start. And since family, I think it's a good place to start is what I'm trying to say there. And with family, I might ask a question is, what does it mean to be a part of a family? Or I could ask another question, is it easy to be a part of a family? Or I may say something like, everyone is part of a family. It's not always easy, but it shows love to everyone who's a part of it. So I'd come up with some type of a statement or a question or automatopoeia, something that's going to draw the reader in. All right, so now I've got my introductory paragraph filled out, and the rest of this is a piece of cake. We are going to just fill in what we need to. So I'm going to look up here at what I put on letter B, and that is going to go down here with my first supporting paragraph topic. I said Joey interacts with her brothers. Okay. Now I look at what I did for C, and that comes down here to my Roman numeral 3. So for C, I said the family uses humor. And then when I come down here to paragraph for my Roman numeral 4, I'm going to look at what my third one was from letter D, and I said how the parents show that they care about Byron. All right. I'm not going to worry about my conclusion just yet. I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to look at my first paragraph. So I said the way that Joey interacts with her brothers. So I'm going to think about this. I'm going to think about what are some examples from the book, and I want to come up with 3 of them. 3 is our magic number here. We have 3 examples in each paragraph. We have 3 paragraphs in the body of our essay. So 3 is an important number. I'm going to say that Joey interacts with her brothers. Let's see. She cares about Byron, and she shows this when she doesn't want him to get burned by Mama. I'm going to think of 2 other ways that Joey interacts with her brothers. Joey worries about Kenny when he wants to go to Collier's Landing. And then I'm going to come up with a third example. I'm going to do the same thing for my second supporting paragraph. I'm going to think about examples of the way the family uses humor. And then I'm going to go to my third paragraph, and I'm going to come up with ways that the parents show that they care about Byron. Then when I get down here, I'm going to reword what I have in my first 3 paragraphs, and then down here to D in my conclusion, I'm going to reword what I have in my thesis statement. This gives you a good idea of the outline. And again, an outline is like the bare bones of your essay. It doesn't have to be in complete sentences. I'm running out of time for this video, so I hope that you have a good day, and I hope that this helps.